Hi again. You need to turn your phone off.
It is off. You can turn your mouth off.
Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today we're going to do another ship with me type video. We haven't done one in a while. And I had a really good weekend. So I have quite a bit of different types of things to share with you. This isn't everything, but it's a lot of stuff just to kind of give you my thought process when I'm packing stuff. Now, y'all, even after 24 years of doing this, I have made a couple of mistakes just this month in shipping. So, not everybody's perfect.
There's only one in shipping, one in inventory.
Well, no, but I had the problem on Mercari too. I had two orders. One was on Mercari, and she gave me a deserved 3-star because I packed a plush and there was a little heart on the front of it, and I neglected to notice that it was actually like a little box inside of that heart. It was like a fabric heart, but it had like cardboard sides, and I mailed it in a bag, and of course it got damaged. She, in her comments, did state that she was able to fix it, but I got a 3-star on Mercari. That's my first. And then this week I got a neutral on eBay. Again, my fault. I had sold some wicker hot pads, and the box that I put them in was probably just a tad too snug, and she stated that a little piece of one of them broke off. Still happy with the order, but still, gave me a neutral. I wished people, and I'm not trying to put the blame elsewhere, but I wish they would contact us. That would be the way to do this. I would have given her a partial refund because it was my mistake, but I wasn't given an opportunity to make the situation right. So if you have issues, contact your sellers. Just contact them. But let me go ahead and start showing you some of the things we sold. I'm not talking prices or anything. I'm just talking how I'm going to pack them. Now, I had quite a few clothing items, like 10 or more clothing items. The way I do my listings is if I know a package, we pre-pack everything. If I know it's going to fit in a bag like this, then I charge a flat rate $8.99 with the thought that I'm going to mail it in a padded flat rate envelope. I leave it as plain priority. I don't specifically say it's going to be padded flat rate or anything like that. I just say priority because when you get orders in, it really depends on where it's going and how you're going to ship it. Like, for instance, this item, the cheapest shipping under priority that I was comfortable shipping this in was a padded flat rate. And so that's how this one's going to go. However, and these are noisy, this is a Tyvek bag. If you don't have these, I love these for just shipping clothing in regular priority mail. This is not flat rate or anything. It's just regular priority. But this was only going to charge $8.05 versus $8.30 for a priority flat rate. So I chose to do regular priority on this item. And then this third item, again, I charged $8.99 shipping, but I'm comfortable shipping this in the flat rate envelope. It's small enough. I don't even try to cram this stuff in there. If it will fit in here reasonably easy and I can just fold it over without having to worry that I'm going to split seams or anything like that, then I chose this. And I don't remember what the flat rate is on this, but that's why I charge a flat rate, but then I decide which priority shipping I'm going to do. All right, and then I sold this great courses. I used to do really well with these, but they're not as great anymore. But I had picked these up at an estate sale. I want to say $1. It was a 3-part series.
So are they just good courses now?
No, but they're called great courses. The person chose media mail for these. So because there's discs and everything in these, I'm not going to throw this in like a bubble or anything. These are squishy. I just don't think that that's a wise decision. So it will get shipped in a box. And then I make sure that I put some bubbles in there so that it's not jumping all over the place in here. And then I'll ship it media mail. Make sure when you're choosing media mail that you don't choose anything that's got advertising in it. And I have an example of something that I sold that some people might think they could do media mail, but you can't. So, but those can. Those are just DVDs. I have this. It's Meoni by Aurora. The reason why I'm choosing a box is because it does have this tag right here that's leather. And I'm afraid if you were to put it in a bubble or a poly, that could get creased. And that might be important to the buyer. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in the box and ship it that way. This is just a regular old plush. It's, I forget the brand. It doesn't have a tag on it. I'm comfortable shipping stuff like that. There's no rattle in it. There's no anything to worry about. I'm just going to put it in a poly bag. And I have tons, probably 7 sized bags that I use. And I'm pretty good about picking the one that's going to fit the package correctly.
And if you're just starting out, you don't have to buy all the different sizes. You can ship a smaller plush in a larger bag if you want to save on money up front. The larger bag is going to cost a little bit more, but that might be better starting out than buying 7 different sizes of bags.
Right. And I use the Boxery on eBay to order most of my stuff at this point. So, you know, there are links down below. Will be in the comments on the different packages that I purchase. And then, Little People. These are the older ones. They're not heavy. They're not like arms or anything that I'd have to worry about. I usually just sell them in 2s and I put them, I guess I want to say bottom to bottom, wrap them in bubble wrap and stick them in this. There's others that I choose to put in boxes, but for these older ones like this, they're it's okay to ship them in this bag. This is like the biggest poly bag I have. At one point, I used my eBay thing. I don't even, do they even carry this size still? I used my eBay quarterly coupon to buy these. I've got, when I had an anchor store, you know, you get $150 every quarter. I still have these bags because I ended up buying quite a bit of them. But this plush has nothing special about it either. Just a big old plush. So I'm confident shipping it in this bag. Robert and I have this discussion quite often.
Here we go.
This is a plush. It's Home Buddies. I love that brand. But it's got pellets in it. Probably PVC pellets. I'm just not comfortable shipping these in a plain old poly bag. I can't even give you my reasons why. I always want them shipped in a bubble. There was a point, I'm getting better, that I would have said I only want these shipped in a box. But I'm aware that they're okay, but I just bubble it. But yes, he's always harassing me about that one.
I'm not saying a word.
And then I have this Lovey. It does have a rattle in it, but it's very much inside of the plush where it's got lots of stuff around it. On these type, I'm going to mail them in a bubble.
If it was a thinner plush, you would put it in a box.
Yes. If it's thinner where I could actually feel that rattle easily, then I'm going to put it in a box because I don't want it accidentally getting broken on the way. And then I have a plush like this. It's got the paper tag. So if it was going to be like plush up against something, but not really. I say I possibly might mail it in a bubble, but usually no. I'm going to protect that paper by shipping it in a box, and it's just going to fit straight in there. Usually, you know, if it was to be moving around, I might put something in that, but this isn't going to. My rule with boxes is you shouldn't hear your thing inside of it moving around. You shouldn't. You need to use something, either bubble wrap. I also use like the just paper. What's that stuff called?
Packing paper.
Packing paper. And we use the
air pillows.
Air pillows.
The air pillows are really handy when you're concerned about pushing the item up to the next weight level.
The next weight limit. Which, this is what I mean by, I buy this at Walmart. At some point, yes, I know I can contact like a newspaper and buy the ends, but I really don't use a whole lot of it. So I just use this from Walmart. I buy it in a huge pack.
I'm going to have to search for a cheaper source for that kind of thing. We used to subscribe to our local newspaper, and we didn't read it, so we canceled it. Because we have some over here we'll get to, but that's what I used a lot of times, is I'll stuff newspaper in a Walmart bag, tie it off, and make a redneck giant air pillow out of it. And it works really well, but we don't have that supply, and we had been getting newspapers from a friend, and she told me this past week that she also canceled her subscription, so we're going to have a source for this kind of thing, and it needs to be the most economic option.
Because Robert does a lot of my breakables, so he's the one that's usually trying to fill in the gaps, and so he may use that type of paper more than I do. All right, and then this is a doll. Well, it's a troll. I have wrapped it very well in bubble wrap because I need the extra cushioning for this box. And then all I'm going to do is get it in the box, and then I'm going to stuff the top. If Robert had packed this, he might use the box resizer to go ahead and take it down to the right size. I'm not very good with that thing, so I'm just going to stuff it with paper so that it doesn't move in the box at all.
And my rule of thumb on whether I cut it down or not is, will it be faster to stuff it with paper or cut it down? Along with stuffing it with paper makes the box a little more scrunchable because and cutting it down keeps it more sturdy if you're really trying to protect the things that are in there. So if it's something breakable, I'll tend to cut the box down so there's not a lot of loose box on top that could get crushed and damage something.
Yep. This is just another plush. There's no wires or anything in it. It's a little, like, it's got foam in the wings. I'm okay with it being shipped in a poly, but I want it in a bubble. I love these bubbles that we buy, the bubble mailers. They're kind of rigid. They're not floppy. So I think it just gives it a little bit more stability, and I'll just ship it like this. If it had had like wire antennas or anything like that, I would have definitely boxed it. Ooh. One more thing. All right. We sold, like I said, quite a bit of clothing, but I do also ship clothing first class. This is just a shirt that I sold. It's going to be in the first class range. I do flat rate for that, just like I do with all of my toys that are first class. But I just ship them in poly bags like this.
And that's pretty much only shirts,
shirts and maybe shorts, maybe kid stuff.
Small women's jeans that are really small.
Yep. Then they'll go first class. This type of toy, it is vintage. It is stiff. There's no bending this. Please don't ever try to ship something like this in a poly bag. Just don't. If it had been in the first class weight range, which it's not because it's really solid, I would have still shipped it in a box. I like the 12 by 6 by 6 boxes that you can get with the eBay coupon for this type, but it is actually over the 1 pound. So I'm going to be shipping it in the shoebox, and then I'll stuff paper on top just to keep it from moving around. Robert picked this up at a sale, but it is a binder. But inside of it was just all kinds of like slides and papers for the different area. It says it's the Sault Ste. Marie. Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. It just had a lot of advertising. This is something you cannot ship media mail. You know, under any circumstances because it's just all advertising. The person did pay for priority shipping. With my over 1 pound items, I do offer priority as my first choice and then parcel select if they want the cheaper shipping. But most people, believe it or not, pick priority because they want it to them quicker. Less time in the postal system, less opportunities for it to get lost or damaged. So I'm just going to pick this box. Make sure if you have things that are shipped over 1 pound, first and foremost, try to use the free shipping stuff. I buy a lot of boxes, and I do have larger boxes for toys that are older. Bigger. But for the most part, we try as much as we can to use the free stuff. So I'm just going to put this in here. And then again, I'll stuff around the edges so that it's not moving. This is a teeny tiny Lego minifigure. Some of these I have been using these little boxes I picked up for free when we went and bought some boxes from somebody who was going out of business. But Robert pre-packed this. So just make sure you have plenty of bubble wrap all the way around it, and then I don't have an issue. Now, if it was more than one, or it had like lightsabers and anything like that that possibly could get broken, I might still use one of my 4x4 boxes. But this was just a plain old Lego figure with nothing extra. Here's the air pillows. I love them. They're not very expensive, and they're just easy to fill in. But this is just a Tamagotchi that I sold. Y'all, I listed this, and then one day just happened to be out there looking for something in my storage area and thought, I haven't seen that. Believe it or not, I notice a lot of the things when I'm doing my deletes and sell similars, and I thought, I just haven't seen that. So I went and looked, and eBay had dropped the listing. So I relisted it, and of course it sold probably within a month. But I'm not going to put something like this in a poly bag because it's not new in the box. Oh, yes, it is. It's new in the box. I'll take that back. It was sealed all the way around, but it has this little part up here. I would not want to put that in a poly bag or even a bubble mailer. This person, they paid quite a bit for this, so it deserves to go in a box.
And if they're a collector, that packaging could be very, very important to them.
Very, yep. So I have it tucked in here so it's not moving at all. And then I'm just going to lay this on top and ship it on its way. All right. This is another bit larger plush. It's just a Kelly toy, but it has a rattle also. So even in the situation like this, I can't even feel it. It's so deep in here. But I'm still going to use a bubble to ship it in. This is a vintage plush. Not stiff or anything. But I just don't think I would want to send. It sold, I think, over $60. So I'm going to take this chance and mail it in a box just so that it keeps its shape. And there's no chance that, the bag might be damaged or anything like that. So these are the 12x6x6s, but it's not the eBay ones because I ran out of them and had to buy some more. So perfect. And it still stays under a pound. So that was going to go first class shipping.
Did I miss the part where you were talking about selling the trivet thing and it got damaged?
Yes, you missed it.
All right. Because I was trying to answer a message. And I just want to make sure that I take full blame for that, or at least a chunk of blame, because this is when you're working like with a spouse or a partner or an employee or something. I saw that it was a little curved in there, and I thought, well, Rebel must think it's okay like this, so I just went ahead and did it. I should have asked, and she would have said, oh, no, that needs to be flat. I would have changed the box. Wouldn't have been a problem.
Right.
So don't be afraid to question your spouse, even though you get in trouble for it.
He does not. You're making me seem...
Like you are?
No. All right. This is a breakable ceramic item, but it was already in its own styrofoam in the box. So I think I did, it is first class. So we're going to use this box. If it had been over a pound, I would have just used the small priority box. But, you know, perfect box for this. I love this size. It's the 6x4x4s.
I wrapped it in, I put
Yeah,
a
just a
small
little
piece
bit of
of
bubble
wrap around it so that it wouldn't move around inside
right.
the box.
See, no sounds. And hard toy. This is Play-Doh molds. Did you pack this?
Mm.
Yeah. All right. It's going to go in a box. I don't need this getting damaged or, you know, getting dented. It is vintage. So we're going to just use, this is my other favorite, 8x6x4s stuffed with the stunnage. And then it won't go anywhere once I cram that in there better. I hate selling plates. I usually list them singles, but this person bought all 5 or 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. They're Pottery Barn. So this is how Robert packs them. There is cushioning in between each plate.
We're currently I use small bubble wrap. You just don't want them clinking together.
Clinking.
People have commented that they use either paper plates or styrofoam plates like you'd use at a picnic in between them. I haven't. It seems like that would work really well because you just
don't know if I like that idea.
You just don't want them clinking together.
Right.
And that's the big worry.
I prefer bubbles.
And that would keep them from clinking together. So I'm going to investigate that to see which is cheaper, bubble wrap or, you know, the small bubbles or paper plates or styrofoam plates. I think I'd prefer styrofoam, I think.
Do any of you use that? I'm not keen on that idea.
Somebody commented in one of our videos about it, I think.
Maybe. And this isn't done packing, but what we wanted to show is a lot of times what we do for the sides is we roll up bubble wrap like this, and it's going to go all the way around the sides. And so this will get taped like this, but he's going to be doing more bubble wrap for this. And then I buy these boxes because a lot of times plates are too big for the priority box.
Right, the large dinner plates are
the
too
large ones. Once you get plenty of packaging in it. So this box is 14 by 9. I think the Nurse Flipper was the one I heard say order boxes that were like 14 inches. We do the 9 because, you know, you can always cut it down. But it does end up being relatively good for multiples, like 5 or 6 plates at a time. So, you know, if it's something that you're going to get into, you know, you might want to consider trying to get this size box and just I order them by like the 25s. They probably last me over a year because we don't sell a whole lot of dishes, but it's just convenient knowing you automatically have the right size box.
Most of the dishes that we sell actually fit in the large priority box. It's just these large plates that won't.
The large dinner plates. So, but he'll do some more bubble wrap around this, get it in that, and then cut the box down to fit it perfectly. This is an Etsy order, but this is why we like saving our Amazon boxes for when you have these boxes that are, you're going to need oversized. Now, if we could put 2 priority boxes accordion style together, but this is just convenient for this item.
For that item, it wouldn't be quite wide enough anyway. It would fit in the 14 by 14 box, except for this end right here has a crank on it. Mm-hmm. And there's just not enough padding left over, not enough room in that box for me to put more padding, so I had to get a longer box.
Right, this is a Fisher-Price recorder thingy. I contemplated keeping it, but I didn't. So this sold along with some of the cartridges, but I do have the handheld one and one of my favorite cartridges up there. So I'm okay getting rid of it. But he's going to end up cutting this box down. A little bit more packaging and then cut it down to fit. Actually, there ain't much cutting it down, are there? I like, especially like with Etsy and eBay, if you're wrong on the size of the box, because this isn't one of those things, I should have pre-packed it, and I say to pre-pack it, but I didn't. And hopefully this won't be an oversized box. But with eBay and Etsy, those are the two that you can change boxes and dimensions and make it the right size, and just hopefully not have a major difference in price. These are Robert's bags. Just little grocery bags stuffed with newspaper that he's using. This was actually an Etsy order. I'm not going to drag it back out. I'm just going to show you guys. It's a big party light thing, Buddha looking thing. So it's all packed very securely with bubbles. He has put some of these air pillows all the way around it to cushion it and keep it from shaking. There's going to be no shaking. And then he's just going to stuff it on top with all of these bags. I think that's it. I think that's it.
Did you get it out?
I guess so. I think that's it. I hope this was helpful for those of you who are still, you know, not quite confident in shipping. It's really not that, it's not that bad. Just kind of pay attention to what's items you're shipping, what they're stuffed with, especially if you're dealing with plush. You know, are they stiff? Are they pliable?
And think about how would I like this thing shipped to me if I was buying it.
Right. Yes. So many people, you know, get their stuff mailed in a cereal box, which has 0 protection. So, you know, don't do that.
The shipping boxes, they have to go through like edge crush tests, and they're rated for different pounds or something like that, that they have to go through, and a cereal box hasn't gone through that. They're just going to flop around. I suppose you could ship a pair of jeans in a cereal box or something because they're not going to get damaged, but
you might as well use free priority stuff.
Exactly.
Order it all the different sizes. There's probably 5 or 6 sizes that I order on a regular basis from the post office. So just, you know, be frugal. Be frugal. That's the best thing we can do, is save on our costs, right? All right. I'll get to work. I got to get the labels printed on all this stuff before my mail carrier gets here. Bye.